Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. You know, the game of golf, unlike practically any other sport, has one thing that they don't have when it comes to leveling the playing field when it comes to competition. And that's the handicap system. You know, there have been more than one handicap system used around the world, actually 6 of them. Well, now there's going to be one. As of January of 2020, there's a new world handicap system. What's it mean to you? Stick around, we're going to explain it to you. It's the revised World Handicap System. Next, we're going to reveal it for you right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues from the headquarters of the Golf Association of Philadelphia. We're on hallowed ground here today, and we're talking about the new World Handicap System. Going into effect January 1st, 2020, and I'm with 2 experts from the Golf Association of Philadelphia. We're talking here with Steve Latos. He is the manager of customer services, technical support, and Mario Macchi is Director of Membership Services. Okay. Gentlemen, a year ago we had, Mario, the changes in the rules. They went into effect January 1st of 2019. January 1st, 2020, we have new changes in the World Handicap System. And when we say that, let's first of all get some history. How long have handicaps been around in the game of golf?
So handicap started in the United States in 1912. We just passed the 100th anniversary a few years ago, but the modern handicap system as we know it was about 1983 with the GIN system came around in the U.S. as well as the course rating system, which is a big component of the handicap system that we have right now in the United States.
Doing some prep work for this, Steve, I found out that roughly only about 15% of American golfers actually have a handicap. I thought that was really low. But that's the number, right?
Yeah, it's low, and we're hoping that some of the new changes in the World Handicap System and the rules of handicapping helps attract more golfers to the game. It'll be a little bit more accessible, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Mario realized, and I didn't know until then, that there are actually a half a dozen different handicap systems. Not everybody's been playing by the same, not rules, but requirements on how to establish a handicap. So this is an effort to do away with 6 different ones and have only
just one system. So the United States Golf Association and the R&A were the kind of key components there. They came together, formed it, got the other 4 associations on board, and now we have 6 associations all with one unified handicap system for the world.
And Steve, what is it mainly? Just for consistency purposes that they're doing this?
Yeah, and it's all part of the corporate governance of how golf is governed. With the rules of golf, it's now the same across the world, and that same structure is going to apply to handicapping as well. So if one of us were to go overseas and play golf, we could do it equitably with someone in Europe and someone in Australia, anywhere around the world.
Anywhere, yeah. And it's been something that's been in the makings for 7 years, right?
Yep.
That's pretty long. Actually, they were working on this prior to the USGA and the RNA getting together on the rules changes that went
Correct.
into effect a year ago. That's a long time.
Correct. They've been working at it a while, and there have been small changes implemented over time to get us to this point, but now we're ready to go with the new World Handicap System.
When you take a look at the, as I mentioned, there are 6 different handicap systems, all now coming down to one, but you look around the world, and the U.S. system, was that pretty much the model for the USGA handicap system, the model for this new World Handicap System?
I would say it was, especially because the course rating system, which is really a key component of that, is all almost entirely coming across as the World Handicap System's course rating system. So when you look at that and how much of a role that plays in the World Handicap System, we're not changing that here in the U.S. There's very little change to the course rating system based on what we know now. So all the other governing bodies around the world are going to have to go through and re-rate all their golf courses under this new system versus what they had before. So the USGA system was definitely the key component of the model for what we ended up with.
Steve, any of the readings I've done on this new World Handicap System seems to indicate that American golfers, those that have a handicap, won't be impacted as greatly as, say, some golfers in other parts of the world.
Yeah, and it goes along with what Mario was saying, where the course rating system is going to remain largely unchanged. A lot of players here won't notice too much of a difference. We've run stats on our staff, and our index will maybe change by 0.5 in either direction, which isn't a huge change. It might be a stroke here or there, but in general, we'll go along business as usual and play like we were in the past.
All this goes into effect, as we mentioned, January of 2020. Leading up to that, you fellows, I guess, have been involved in first learning about it yourself by way of the USGA, and then you take that information and explain it to your member course clubs here in
Correct.
the Golf Association of Philadelphia. How's that process going?
So Steve and I went in May, the beginning of May, to the United States Golf Association up in New Jersey to a handicap seminar there where we kind of learned the system ourselves to be able to now go and instruct it to our members and our clubs. And then starting in September, we did 5 handicap seminars, and we'll do more in March leading up to the start of our posting season, which in this area, as you know, is April 1st.
Sure.
And we've also launched a new World Handicap System portal on our website. We've done email campaigns and doing everything we can to make sure people are aware of what's going on by the time we really start posting in April.
What's been the reaction, Steve, or as best you can gauge, of your member clubs to these changes?
I think it's all been very positive. The changes are modern, they're inclusive, so they make sense. For example, now revisions will happen daily instead of once every 15 days. So someone that plays every single day or multiple times over a 15-day period, their index will be more responsive, and when they compete, it'll be a more reflective representation of what they actually are playing at the time.
Yeah. You made an interesting point. You have these books here, the rules of handicapping. Okay, this is for the new rules that go into effect versus the old USGA handicap system. Hold these up for us.
Yep.
As we get a cross section, right?
Yep.
Get an idea. Greatly reduced by almost 50%, maybe
Yeah.
more.
We've cut it out and we've simplified a lot of the terminology and the facts in there. You know, it's to be more accessible, adaptable, and simplified. And I think those books give you a great idea of the simplification of the process.
Okay, so here lies the changes, okay? And we have, I guess, well, rather than get into it right now, there are, how would you say, 5, 6 major changes? And we'll get into the weeds when we come back after the break. But would you say that's a good number?
5 specific changes to the way the handicap index is calculated now.
Okay, and like I say, we'll be back in just a moment and take a look at, we'll go into the weeds a little bit, okay? We'll scrape the surface and see exactly what are the major changes in the rules of handicapping effective January of 2020. We'll do that with Steve and Mario. More to come on the new handicap system going into effect this year, January of 2020.
Whoever they're playing with or against.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues from the Golf Association of Philadelphia headquarters. We're talking the rules of handicapping. I should say probably the new rules of handicap system. Steve Latos and Mario Mackey are with us from GAP, and they're the experts when it comes to handicaps. All right, We talked about the history of handicaps. We talked about how long it took the revisions now to be made. We talked about where it's going to make its major impacts around the world, because we're going from a system of actually 6 systems down to one uniform system, copied a lot by what the USGA has done in terms of handicapping over the past 100 years. Okay, let's get into the weeds now, guys. Let's look at, say, 5 of the major changes starting January of 2020 when it comes to a handicap system. We begin with the minimum number of scores required. What was it? What's it going to be?
It was 5 scores, 90 holes, any combination of 9 or 18 hole scores. It's been reduced down to 54. So 3 rounds of golf or 6 9-hole rounds or any combination there, and to get you to 54 holes now. So another thing to make it more accessible to more golfers.
All right, so that's one of the major changes. The next, the number of differentials used. By differentials, I guess we mean what? The number of rounds?
Scores. Every score has a differential, which is basically how good that round was, right? So we all
Traditionally,
know that
what's it been?
it was 10 of 20 previously.
So, okay.
But then there was a multiplier of 0.96 for a bonus for excellence in the current system, which affected high handicappers more than low handicappers. But now we're down to 8 of 20, just a simple 8 of 20 calculation. You take your 8 lowest differentials, average those out, that's your handicap index.
Okay, so instead of 10, it's now going to be 8. All right, playing conditions calculation. Now this is a new one, right? Even for USGA and the GIN index, correct?
Correct.
Steve, explain what that all amounts to.
So we all know when we go out and play golf, it's not the same every single day we play golf. We could play the same course on consecutive days. The first day it's 75 and sunny, pins are in the middle of greens, it's easy to play golf. The next day it could be blowing 25 miles an hour, could be 52 degrees with rain. You might play the same both days, but the conditions were so much more difficult the second day. You felt, hey, the differentials were the same, but I played much better that second day. The new system will look at the scores of all golfers that played on the course at that day.
That day?
That day, correct.
So if you're playing on a course, say on a weekend where it's probably going to be more than on a Tuesday afternoon or something, they'll look at the scores of everybody who played that day under the same conditions, and that'll be factored in to what your score was that you posted.
So there'll just need to be 8 golfers to play. So as long as there are eight golfers, this could apply. And what it'll do is it'll look at the target score for each player, essentially what the system predicts the player will shoot. If there's deviance between what the players predicted to shoot versus what they actually shoot in one direction or another, the system will automatically make a change and reflect that on the score differential.
That's key. The system will make the change. The golfer doesn't have to be a weatherman, a meteorologist, and say, well, you know, the temperature was this, humidity was this, we had 1.2 inches of rain or anything. That's all based on what everybody else did under the same conditions the same day.
So the golf professionals can take it easy a little bit. They don't have to be punching in weather conditions or course conditions. The system will do it all.
System will do it all. All right, that's number 3. All right, number 4, an exceptional score reduction that considers all scores. What does that mean?
So right now in the current USGA system, there is section 10-3, which is exceptional performance in tournaments. So what our golfers know that is by the R on their handicap. If you have an R on your handicap at the end of it, your handicap index currently, that means you had at least 2 low tournament rounds over the past 12 months that were significantly lower than your index and caused a reduction automatically. What the World Handicap System does is says, hey, we're not just looking at tournament scores, we're going to look at all scores. And if at any point during the year you shoot a round where that differential on that round is at least 7 shots better than your handicap index on the day of play, we're going to reduce you 1 or 2 shots depending on how good that score was. So it's reactive, it's right away. The next day you see that reduction.
Right.
So
okay. Now tournament scores, as I recall, they would stay in your list longer than just an average round of golf, correct? Is that still going to happen?
No, so that'll be completely gone. So in the current system in 2019, tournament scores would stay on your record for 12 months.
Right.
So if you play 300 rounds in the first round you played that year, it'll stick on for 12 months. If you have an exceptional score right now, it'll just stick in as long as it's in your most recent 20 scores.
And then get thrown out when, like on the regular
time you play, it's going to knock one down.
Round posting system, boom, the tournament score is gone. Okay, the addition of a soft cap and a hard cap to limit upward movement. Translate that for me.
So essentially what that means is the system recognizes that players go through stretches of poor form, but that poor form is typically temporary. So what the system will do is it'll look over the last 12 months, pick out your lowest handicap index over that 12 months, and your index can never increase more than 5 above that number. So if your low handicap index over the last 12 months was a 10, your index can never rise to above 15.0. There'll be a soft cap which suppresses that movement and limits the movement upwards, and then the hard cap limits it at 5 above whatever your low handicap index is. So realize it's temporary. You can have a poor form, but that's temporary, and it'll limit on how much you can raise over time.
All right, so there are 5 of the more significant changes in this new world handicap system that we're talking about. We'll be back in a moment to talk and wrap things up here with Steve and Mario about when you should post your scores. That's a point of emphasis in order for this whole system to work. But first, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with our teed off panel and wrap it up talking handicaps right here on Inside Golf.
Really fun to get people, so giving them like a lesson to, or a club fitting to club champion.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues now with our popular, maybe the most popular segment we do, Teed Off. We're here at the Bluebell Inn. By the way, New Year's is coming up, right? You have any plans for New Year's Day? Here's an idea for you. Here at the Bluebell Inn, they're going to have a New Year's Day brunch, and they're now taking reservations. So get in touch with the Bluebell Inn. Their website is bluebellinn.com. That's bluebellinn.com. Little brunch, January 1st. Start off the new year right here at the Bluebell Inn. All right, our panel today, Leela Mackey from the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America.
Thanks for having me.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Jules Quinones, looking dapper in his Gap vest.
Well, thank you, Harry.
Of course, the Golf Association of Philadelphia. Jules has been here before. Good to see you again, Jules.
Great seeing you.
And Joe Logan. He is probably on teed off segment number 1,222 and counting, right?
But who's counting?
Joe from myphillygolf.com. We're going to talk about since it's a holiday season, what golf gifts maybe you would like to receive or give. And Joe, you and I were chatting a little bit before we started this segment and said for years you told everybody, I don't want any golf gifts. Has that changed?
A little, because I used to get a lot of, everything was paid for by my employer.
A lot of freebies, huh?
Well, not to them, it wasn't free. But now I don't get so much, so I'm accepting golf gifts.
Are you? Well, what would you like to accept this holiday?
It's funny, my wife just sent me out to get golf shoes for her son for Christmas.
Okay.
And I went to a retailer, and I liked them so much that I got a pair for myself. All these new, I used to wear, like FootJoy Classics, the big heavy leather things.
They weighed about 20 pounds.
They did, and they had cleat spikes in them. Now, all the major manufacturers make these really light kind of things, like the things that Tiger wears.
They're like slippers.
Yeah, they're nice, they're light, they have plenty of traction.
So you broke down and bought a pair yourself?
Well, I think I'm going to get them for Christmas.
Oh, okay. How about that? So you're going to look pretty good. What color were they?
They were navy blue. They are navy blue.
Okay.
I haven't put them into practice yet. And the other Christmas present that I like is, you seen this thing, the orange whip? It's.
Oh.
I'm telling you, it is.
Can we say that on television? Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. But it works. It's great when I get to go play a round of golf and I don't have time to hit balls. I keep that in my trunk, grab it, just take a few swings. I get loose, it gets your tempo right, and then I'm off.
If we have time, I have an idea to share along those lines. Leela, what's the best golf gift you ever got? Do you remember? Maybe a youngster when you were first getting interested in the game, or?
I would say a new set of clubs is
Really?
always great, yeah.
Wow.
A new driver or something, but I really need a new rangefinder right now. Mine finally died after like 12 years, so that was a pretty good run. But
Wow.
I think experiences are always really fun to get people. So giving them like a lesson or a club fitting to Club Champion, or a lesson with Lou Guzzi or something like that. It's always appreciated and more fun than just, after you have a lot of stuff, it's kind of like, what else do you need?
Right. Yeah. Being in the industry, you have a way of getting things,
Yeah. But,
Well, thanks for
which
that
is
lesson.
always nice.
yeah.
Joe and really share that. Well, not anymore, but Jules, you pay for everything, I know.
Well, I tell my friends not to get me no articles of clothing whatsoever because I have too
Why
much
is that?
of it.
You like to pick out yourself? That's my explanation.
True, yeah, but you know what it is? I have so much of it, and from being at different events and everything, and you're playing so many tournaments, and here's another shirt, here's another head cover. It gets to be absolutely ridiculous. So I always tell my friends, just golf balls is fine.
Yeah, never have enough golf balls.
Never have
do
enough
you?
golf balls.
Even
yeah,
a
so,
good golfer like you.
Yeah, you just
How
want to-
about, what would you say is a gift you would like to give to a golfer friend?
Believe it or not, a massage. A massage.
Really?
So yeah, that works. Like guys really love getting a massage after a round. Like if they're give you an example, say they're down the shore, and they're playing like Seaview or something like that, and then they can go and get a massage after a round. That works out really well. They love that.
How about that? Yeah, it would be not high on my list, I don't think. Here's the one thing.
You must not have had a good massage.
I've only had one massage in my entire life.
Well, there's the problem.
Is it?
Missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Jules?
Well, I'm not going to do it, Harry.
Hope you have a happy holiday and get the right golf gift, whether it's a massage or dozen balls or shoes or?
Actually, Harry, we are doing an online auction for our foundation to benefit our foundation, PGA Reach Philadelphia, and we've got a couple of unique items on there. So we got a trip to Pinehurst and some paintings of like the Open and things like that are kind of unique. So if anybody's looking for Christmas gifts, go to pgareach.org/Philadelphia.
All right, there's your ideas. We'll be back. More of Inside Golf coming up.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
When you think about your future, you have dreams. You want to succeed. That means achieving your goals, both big and small. At Citadel, we want to help you get there. We believe that success is achieved with the right plan, the right people, and the right determination. We're committed to your success, her success, and their success. Talk to us about how we can help you reach your goals. Citadel, banking with one focus, you.
Everyone is looking for something. Consistency. Quality. Peace of mind. Found. The Haverford Trust Company.
Welcome back to Inside Golf, wrapping things up here at the Golf Association of Philadelphia headquarters, talking the new World Handicap system with Steve Latos and Mario Mackey. And gentlemen, one thing too that's being stressed under this new system is posting scores as soon after your round as possible. Why is that, Steve?
So it comes into play in a couple different situations. Number one, your handicap index will update daily. So if you don't,
as opposed to every 2 weeks.
As opposed to every 2 weeks. So if you don't post a score that day, it won't be reflected in your next day's revision. The other reason goes into the playing conditions calculation that we discussed. If you don't post your score, the course, that won't be factored into the playing calculations for the course.
So if you go back 2 days later to post, maybe you had to leave early or weren't around a mobile unit to do it, those playing conditions won't be factored in. If you post that date, would that help or no?
So if you post that date, it will be factored into the calculation. The calculation only happens once. It's midnight local time of that day. And if you post 2 days later, you will still get the adjustment, but you will not be factored into that calculation. So it might affect what that calculation could have been. If your score was especially high or low, it could have factored into what the calculation was. Instead, you get the adjustment, but you're not calculated in the adjustment.
How would you sum it up? I mean, overall, to the average golfer, member of GAP, for instance, is this going to be, it's not going to be a monumental, oh my goodness, what do I do type of thing?
Exactly. It's not a monumental change, but it will be a change in processes, whether it's time we're asking you to post your score. We're trying to really stress that in that first day, to other things like how your handicap will be calculated that we've gone over. There are some small changes, but not monumental, but enough change that we need you to pay attention to the new rules and understand what's going on.
Question for you. You know how every 2 weeks up until now, clubs would get a printout of everybody's handicap. It would be posted on a bulletin board. That's not going to happen on a daily basis, right?
It's not going to happen. We don't want to be killing all the trees out there, so it'll be a reliance on the cell phone, the club kiosks. Technology will have an added role, and those will update instantaneously.
Right. It's almost like live scoring, live handicap, right?
Exactly.
Every 24 hours. Steve, Mario, thanks for all your help in explaining this. Do your due diligence. Get a copy of the rules of handicap. Talk to somebody. Hey, it's a big deal, but overall, it's not really going to be too much of an imposition on the average golfer. Guys, thank you. Good luck in keeping score and handicapping yourself, and thanks for watching us here on Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up and post your scores ASAP. We'll see you next time right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.